They have the lead.
So, you're probably thinking to yourself right now, Cammy, why are you so excited about Blink, that jump ability, coming back to Destiny 2? To that I say, can any other jump in Destiny get you out of a direct line of fire? For example, in case you missed it, you can see that this guy is clearly getting fired on. He does his short hop, he activates his blink, and guess what? He's directly in cover and that same guy can't shoot him anymore. Even though Blink is severely nerfed and a shadow of its former self in Destiny 1, it's still my preferred method of ability jumping. And the reason for this is the exact same as that example clip from Destiny 2 that I showed you. You can go from out of cover to in cover in one short teleport. Keep in mind that in Destiny 2 they are removing Titan Skating, which is a spam of the ability jump that is way faster than sprinting, and Warlock Surfing, which is a enhanced bunny hop that's slightly faster than sprinting. If you remember back to the first year of Destiny, Blink was very scary, especially when paired with a shotgun, because there was no delay after Blink, you didn't lose your HUD. All these nerfs that happened to Blink over the years didn't exist. In year 1, Blink also had invincibility frames, which for a split second in the Blink animation, you were invincible. Rockets, Nova Bombs, backstabs, nothing could kill a blinking Blade Dancer or Voidwalker. In addition to invincibility frames, there was also super bouncing, which is when you blink into two geometries, like the corner of an object or something like that, it shoots you up very, very high, almost to the top ceiling of the map. I find it hilarious that the Blink footage that I happened to find in my year 1 folder was the exact day that I discovered super bouncing exists, and here's my reaction, it's pretty funny.
Holy shit, I just boosted.
And no, super bouncing was never nerfed in Destiny 1. It still exists to this day. If you hear audio feedback, that's because someone probably started the shower in the other room, so you hear water in the pipes, but disregard that. I'm not giving you a history lesson on Blink just because I feel like it. I'm going to teach you how to use Destiny 1 to get good at Blink now, so that way when Destiny 2 releases, you already are an expert. Before I jump to live commentary Destiny 1 gameplay, let me mention that the nerfs of Blink still apply to Destiny 2. It's obvious. In year 1, Destiny, if you blinked, the order of operations on what you did were different. Here's the difference. In year 1, you could jump, blink, and then shoot a shotgun with no delay. In year 3, after all the blink nerfs, you shoot first, then you blink. That key piece of information turns you from a novice to a master of blinking. Believe me. And another nerf to Blink in year 3, which took away the HUD, the super bar, the grenade bar, all your ammo and so forth, the radar, it took all that away every single time you blinked. And that forced me to get creative. I started using a sword hilt to improve the field of vision and to give me a third-person perspective so I could see around corners while blinking. If you've been paying attention to Destiny 2 news lately, you'll know that swords are a pre-order bonus, so it can be confirmed that swords are coming back in Destiny 2. To the untrained eye, a sword is just a gimmicky weapon. A shotgun does everything better than a sword, right? Wrong. Especially from the perspective of Destiny 2, and I'll explain all this in due time, but first, let me tell you the advantages of a sword in Destiny 1, or even just the hilt. You don't even have to have ammo for the sword for it to be useful. The obvious advantage of a sword hilt is that you can see around walls and you can see around cover, because it puts you in third person. Now imagine in Destiny 2 that a Titan uses the wall building ability. What you could do is you could pull your sword hilt out, and then you could jump and toss a grenade in complete safety. The enemy will never see your head. Yet you know exactly where that nade's going to land because you're third person. Another less obvious advantage is the fact that you can swipe out of cover. Even with the hilt, the small little swipe can extend a slide to get you into cover when otherwise you wouldn't. The third advantage isn't confirmed yet, but it's the greasiest thing I've ever thought of in regards to Destiny 2. So we all know that melee damage has been nerfed in Destiny 2. It takes 3 melees to kill a person, not 2. But what if the sword hilt still does 122 damage? What you could do is melee somebody, and in the process of meleeing them, switch to the sword hilt and then immediately spam the melee button to kill them with the hilt. You can already do this combo in Destiny 1 except in reverse, where you hit them with the sword hilt while swapping out of the sword hilt and then melee them again. And what'll happen is it'll actually kill them faster than 2 melees, but you risk the chance of locking your gun up and putting yourself into machinima mode, which is how a lot of people record machinimas on Destiny. I think that covers all the background knowledge you need to know for this live commentary to make a little bit more sense. So without further ado, here's me from a couple minutes ago doing live commentary in Destiny 1. Dude, there's a sweeper bot on this map. I never noticed that. The attention to detail. Anyway, I decided to do this portion of the video in live commentary to demonstrate exactly what I mean when I'm talking about Blink. So let's assume that an enemy is somewhere in this general direction, right? Where I'm shooting. He's somewhere standing there trying to shoot someone or look for someone on that spiral tree. And if I'm over here by the Mohawk, because I used Blink, I got out here faster than them, I have some options. And the options are created by using Blink in conjunction with a sword hilt. So if I could see the enemy over there, they can't see me, I could see them. Sure, you could say, well, Cammy, why don't you just use an emote? See, an emote accomplishes the same thing. But the difference with an emote is you don't have a crosshair, and you can't move while you emote. See? If I move, I come out of the emote. But if I'm in a sword hilt, I can move around, and I can toss nades in complete safety. That's a dead guardian, if you ask me. So here are some combos you can do with Blink and a sword hilt. Let me first demonstrate that the delay of Blink for shooting is pretty much the same with and without a sword hilt, and judging by the gameplay I see in Destiny 2, it seems that it'll be quite similar. So, for example, I'm going to blink straight up and fire my gun as fast as humanly possible. You should hear me spamming the R trigger just for sake of showing you I'm trying. Alright, you saw it. Now I'm going to do it with the sword hilt. So for the sword hilt blink, I pull the sword hilt out slightly before I blink. Same thing. So what does this accomplish? Now notice that when I blink, the radar and HUD go away temporarily. That's the same in Destiny 2. Watch my field of vision with the sword hilt. Watch the tree. Watch it zoom out. The sword has a wider field of view, which means you can see more things. And you're third person. So you can tell if my character is in cover or showing a foot or a shoulder to the enemy. You can also shoulder peek. So what this combo would accomplish, assuming the enemy is somewhere in that general direction again, is I could blink up and I could see them without them seeing me and be ready to use either a scout or my sidearm depending on the distance that they're at. Or I could, say, toss a grenade while still having the sword held out and do a second blink. So let's assume they're there and shoot them with my scout rifle. So sword hilt blink, switch to scout, and I'm already firing. Ambush is done. Let's assume they're closer, let's change angles a little bit, and let's go with the sidearm. So same exact thing. Okay, let's toss a nade and then blink safely into cover over there. No other jump in this game can do that. No other jump. Now there is one very, very unique thing that you could do with regular Warlock jumping, and it's not going to be the case in Destiny 2. Okay, well, since it took an eternity for heavy ammo to spawn in Mayhem, I decided to show this example in Cosmodrome Patrol. So first thing I'm going to show you is Warlock Surfing. It's just a easy bunny hop that you can master with the Warlock in Destiny 1, but this will not be a feature in Destiny 2. There's some sort of mechanic or something in the game that prevents you from doing this, although there is no sprint lock, so you win some, you lose some. But that's okay. There's no Titan skating either, so it's kind of balanced, except for the fact that for some reason, Blink's back, and I love it. So let me show you what sword skating is. That's the idea of activating a focus burst, this right here, and swiping the sword at the exact same time. And of course the first one didn't work. There it goes. There it goes. Okay, point is, once you get used to it, it's a very easy mechanic to master. I doubt that's going to be in Destiny 2, but who knows. Try it on day 1, and then we'll laugh when there's rushing to patch it. Anyhow, let me go show you why Blink with the sword is preferred in my opinion. So Voidwalker, we got Blink. Now, what you can do with the sword that you can't do with a shotgun, you can't do with the fusion, you definitely can't do it with the rocket launcher, is when jumping from high surfaces, you can redirect your blink with sword swipes. So, for example, if I blink straight up and I spam the right bumper, I can't sword swipe. I wasn't in the air long enough. But now that I'm jumping off of a high surface, I see an enemy shooting at me, oh, I sword swipe to redirect. It's kind of a small thing, but I promise you it has saved me in so many situations and has led to a lot of unbrokens in Destiny because someone's trying to throw a hammer at me in the air and then I just like really swipe and then blink and I'm like, haha, got you, you can't hit me. Now we're back to post commentary and I'm going to explain again how a sword hilt and a blink can interact. You see me going from one piece of cover to the other. That open sight line I teleport through and I can see it third person that they can't hit me because I have a sword hilt out. And then I swipe into cover just to secure it. Now this is the clip I showed you earlier. I swipe into cover, they can't shoot me, I'm at a different angle than as usual because I'm swiping with the sword. Now this clip I actually pick up sword ammo, and exactly like I was talking about in the live commentary, I blink up and I swipe to redirect my jump. It gets me away from some hammers. It puts me into cover sometimes. I can swipe away. There we go. I dodged a proximity hammer that had tracking. I redirected, I block, I swipe, I get the kill. Again, this goes back to what I'm saying. To the untrained eye, all this stuff looks really gimmicky. But if you put it all together, you get We Ran Out of Medals like nothing. These are easy. Skill-based matchmaking and all.
I would sear the Cabal with my burning light, challenge the fallen Kells to personal combat and scatter them.
I've been watching too many Crucible matches.
Well, I hope these tips have been providing some sort of value to you if you plan on using Blink in Destiny 2. If there is a Bungie developer watching this video, let me go on the record and say I'm sorry for adding to the list of things to potentially have to fix before the Destiny 2 launch, but keep in mind that these are somewhat of a higher skill ceiling for executing as far as using the sword hilts tactically in-game without even thinking about it, adding it to your muscle memory, blinking through cover, super bounce angles, and so forth. It's not something that you can just pick up and do. It's something that you put a lot of hours into, hence why I'm making this video to give most of the community a heads up on how to practice. The reason that I still use Blink in Destiny 1 to this day is because the skill gap is so apparent on who's put the hours in of using and mastering Blink and who hasn't. It's beautiful. It's such a fun mechanic. It's such an intriguing mechanic, and there's still so much that's undiscovered in Destiny 1, let alone Destiny 2. All I'm saying is I really hope that Blink doesn't get nerfed harder into the ground than Shade Step Glitch, because honestly it was broken, but pretty hilarious. Pretty fun to do. You know, all them young hunters. We don't really have much old content. We got a whole lot of new content though. If Telesto don't come back, I'll shoot you. Hey! Frame rate, dick rate, sniping it up with the icebreaker. Searching for a match. ... Ain't no exclusive on Xbox.